Okay. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to a chill Tuesday stream. That's right. I'm not going to accept anything less. We are going to have fun working on the green V2 tonight. I hope to make it move. I think we can. There's not a whole lot left to do before it's ready for that. Hi, Biney. Hi, Queasy Diver. Hi, Wick Central and Derek. Hey, PF Dennis and GJ and John. Hey, Dunes and Thunder Keys. Hey, Deneb. Hey, Mitchell. Hey, Sir McSquishy and Doom Crew. Haven't seen you in a while, Doom Crew. How you doing? Hi, Anguisette and Jack and Joe. And where's Jill? And Chris and Truck Guy and Marcel. Hey, Chris. How are folks? Aaron, I saw you. Hey, Okano and Rob and Dickie, Truck Guy, Pedro, all the folks. Volume low. What? I didn't change anything. Who, Jill? Well, there was Jack. There's got to be Jill somewhere, right? How you doing, Scott? Hey, little brat. Hey, Andrew. Hey, Brian and BA and Maddie. Ken. Did I say hey, Pedro? I hope so. Hey, Dark Third Dimension. Oh, I printed a part. Turned out pretty good. Hey, Skyrim. Richard, Mr. Grinch, and Snowflake. Mike. Hey, Reth. I did see you earlier. I forgot to say hi. This is a part for... Ba-bum. Yeah, black box. This is it's one of the extruder parts. I don't know if it's actually one of the extruder parts, but it's listed as a test print. So... You can hear me now? Awesome. It shouldn't change. I don't change my volume levels. I haven't changed my volume levels in a very long time. So. What we got here? Wow, something skipped through. Bill. Hey, Bill. Doom Crew, 11 months. Awesome. Thank you. And you know, Tuxedo. Derek, thank you. Build a Voron Legacy, Steve said. It's not a hard build, Steve says. Linear rods binding everywhere. What a challenging build. Thank you, Derek. If you need any assistance on that, reach out. I'll do what I can. Still waiting for your Nitehawk cable mount. So the Nitehawk cable mount is out there. What you're really waiting for is the revision to the Galileo 2. It's out there on my Discord, in the files. That's where I put stuff that's not really ready to go on my GitHub. And as many actually know, that I eventually try to get things out on GitHub. I eventually will get things out on GitHub. Sometimes that's an undefined amount of time. Yeah, I haven't put it out there because it's not ready, because the Galileo stuff isn't out there. So, hey, Poity, Barry and Maddie. Poity and Barry and Maddie. Hey, Nogorat. Carlos, Jack, I promise no annoying question tonight. It's okay. It's okay. So what I feel is the last couple of streams, and it's just a nature of providing feedback on builds. And as it adds up, things get a little more frustrating. I feel like we've done good on the streams and we've provided good feedback. Sometimes it gets a little animated when we talk about it, but that's why I said today's chill. We're going to work on this printer that I am super excited to get going. But the stuff I did off a stream is I did put the display on there. I don't know if I plugged it in. I might have plugged it in. The light is just now. The dark problem is definitely due to too much light filtering through the blinds behind you. I'm going to get new blinds. I'll get something that'll let less light in so I can control it a little more. Hey, B. McNichol. Hey, Base. Does the Galileo tension screw touch the Z-belt? Touch the Z-belt. It does. It does. Yep. I don't think it matters. It's not ideal, but I don't think it matters. It's not going to spend any time in that one spot to have an impact on it. Hey, Apollo. G2E revision. Yeah, so a couple of streams ago, Jared was on here. The G2E that I built for this printer is a very mild revision. There's no hardware changes. It is some printed parts tweaks. And G2E is still basically in beta. It's public beta and release beta, but it is still being finalized. So one of the steps towards finalizing it is some tweaks based on feedback that has been gained so far. I have the previous version running in 2 printers, and they've printed just about everything I've been showing on camera for a while. So you're not in any trouble running the existing one that's out there. So, hi Brent. Okay, so after last stream, I did go through, we had flashed the firmware, finally got the firmware flashed on these two. LDO went right in and changed their documentation. So if you go out there and look at the Nitehawk documentation, I created enough stink that that it did get updated. I have not cut the excess on the belts yet. Nope. Hey Brian, welcome. So that's the link to the documentation. If you went here and you knew what was here before, you will notice that the clipper config portion of this is completely, the firmware setup is completely rewritten. So I raised a stunk. I stunked a raise. But yeah, this is all done. Now there are instructions here both for flashing via clipper and flashing via catapult. We did via clipper last time. I briefly thought about going through these instructions again to follow them and put it on catapult. However, I kind of want to run it without catapult for a little bit because I want to confirm, because I'd heard that there was some early revisions or something that didn't restart as well, but restarted better when it was on catapult. So I kind of want to run it as it is without catapult, see if I have any issues at all. If I do, then I'm going to put it on catapult and then see if that goes away. So I can provide that info on if that is the case. So I think we're going to keep just moving forward with the last little bits of wiring this build and get it to move. Let me catch up. Jack, thanks for the super sticker. Your 3rd super on a live stream. Thank you. What does that, if I select celebrate, it doesn't actually do anything. Huh. It has a big button that says, let's celebrate the 3rd super on live stream, and it doesn't do anything. RJ, thanks for the gift of memberships. What exactly is catapult? Catapult used to be called Can Boot, and the name was changed to catapult to kind of disassociate it from being strictly a can. It's basically a bootloader slash setup for loading firmware onto these boards. It will it provides an easier means of putting the MCU into a mode where you can flash firmware to it. I've just finished watching your RCF build and I have a question for you. Is your iPhone in your pocket? It is not. It's over here. I'll actually put it away here because the screen was up, so I'll put it over there. But that is a great question, Dark 3D. Just finish up Cyborg build, doing the tuning tonight. Nice. Okay. I did put the stealth burner stuff together and plugged it all in. And now we can work on the AB stepper wiring because that's kind of the next bit. So I think I'm gonna work from the top here down into the deck. So I'm gonna reuse the wires I had before. They have the Molex KK connectors on it. So we will not, we'll be swapping those out for JST. We'll leave this end on. I don't think I need to do anything here. I've got an A label on it already. I am gonna pull all these back because at some point we're gonna leave the little, they have little shrink wrap I put on there to identify the wires. How am I supposed to be a mod? I think what we might, oh, I can't do that. Maybe I can. Do I have enough spools or something around here? Thinking about turning this on its, I don't think I can do it. Okay, the Nitehawk CAN cable is loose, or not CAN, USB cable. Hey, R3D Remy. That's probably going to be good enough. So this basically is getting my bearings, what I want to do. Let's talk about how I have this whole gantry wiring setup going. Probably going to take some bits apart because I put them on as test parts. I custom modeled a few pieces for this because I wanted it to be a little different. Hey, heebie-jeebies. Hey, Manuel. Thank you for being a member. Anyone familiar with filametrics? Does it cause much issue with resonance? I don't know. Okay. I modeled a couple of parts. I think this is going to be a good enough view. Yeah, that'll work as long as I can keep it focusing down here. So this little part here is just a super simple part that goes in and covers that spot on the 2.4 A drive. I didn't want to reprint this, so that just is a little visual mod. This is inspired by this little mod that K had made. I just wanted it to be slimmer and I didn't want to cover the pulley there. So let's see if I still have the pieces out here that I had done before. I did one version. Oh yeah, I did this version first, which was very much like K's that went on here and avoided that pulley by going there. And then I decided, you know what? That doesn't even need to go over there. I can make something super slim that just kind of slides in there and screws down with one screw. And then I put just a 6mm button head in the other spot to hide the heat set insert. So hey Daniel. So that is that. Now we are going to be using a setup here where we're not using a cable chain for Z. Took it off completely. And what that's going to mean is I modeled another part here because I don't want to use PG7 glands and anything like that. So I modeled a little piece here where that will provide some zip tie anchors for the AV stepper wires, because that's all that's going from the gantry to the deck is the AV stepper wires. So just some zip tie spots, and I'll try to get a better view of this maybe from the side when we go to put it in, but it needs to be off right now. Now that means that there will be where did I put that? There will be where is that? It should be right here. Uh-oh. I thought, oh, there it is. It's right on top of the deck. So I have some of this cloth split loom stuff, similar to what Prusa uses. So we're gonna use this, and it will go from here where that one zip tie mount is, and enough of it will come around and go into a piece here that I made. You don't have lights? I have lights up here. I have LED strips on the frame here. So let me take these out. So these are some extrusion slot covers that I had put in here before in the previous iteration. So this is going to go between the A drive here and loop around and enter the deck right here, but it's going to go through this piece that I modeled. And I changed this a little bit from last time I showed this on stream. I kind of tweaked the angles. It looks a little more bird of prey now than it did. So this goes in here, kind of snaps in. I put some tabs here to keep it at least from rotating, and I was hoping they would kind of lock in a little better, but it doesn't. How are you routing the light cables? The light cables come down right here. See that connector there? And then they go behind some extrusion slot cover down here and then into we need to get a better angle here anyway. So you see that? A little hole modeled in the corner of that piece under there. Now, similarly, there is one. You can just see it over here, right above the corner cam. This is the Nitehawk USB cable. And it just so happens to be the exact thickness to fit really well into this 2020 extrusion. So no cover required. So now with this here, this is a good angle. This will come through and then it'll go through this and zip tie right there and zip tie up here. Just like that. Now, to keep this from falling into the area here where the tool head could hit it, there is a little grill here that's going to just screw to the front of the back gantry, and that'll just give it something to push to keep it from going down. So this is inspired by a design that Hart K has also done, and RCF has something that he was working on that this is inspired by. So okay, so I think I'm going to start by getting a piece. And is this a piece that I had already cut? No, but it can be. So this is that extrusion slot cover. And if I put this, just put it in place right here. That goes like that. Then I need to know how long I need this. So I'm probably gonna do it about, just mark it with the knife, about right there. And then cut that on the table. How many print hours have you logged on that unit? I think we saw 1,230. Okay, so this is going to plug in to the B drive. Oh, and I probably grabbed the A. So this is A, so we don't want that one. We want the other one. Oh, it's been cleaned. It has been cleaned for, for the build. Last night I went through all the panels because if we get that far, it will be time to, if we get far enough, I might put panels on it. I kind of doubt it, but I did clean up the panels. What's a good source for that extrusion cover? I'm glad you asked. if you go down into the description, OpenBuilds is my preferred source for this stuff. And I did sign up for their affiliate program because I use it. I like it. I've talked about it a lot on the channel, and there was an extra amount of it needed for the Milo build. So I figured it was a good time to do that. Okay, we want to make sure all of these wires for that are down inside of the cable thing. And then I'm going to take this off because I've designed this such that, there, so that snaps up in there. Hey, redacted, hey, BBs. Let me hook up my little camera because I want a better view of this. Where is that? Here it is. I want a better view of what, oh, I'm spilling stuff everywhere. Hold on a second. I got that on my string deck. Oh, I hope that didn't damage it. See if I can get this around without pushing any buttons. Oh, nope. Did push a button. Not that I can trust anything you have an affiliate link for. Everything you link to is something you use, not just for the money. Thanks for curating. Thank you. I appreciate that because I do have a definite, I avoid doing anything like what you just said. Anything that I've linked is going to be something that I am actively using. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, I spilled my, I have Diet Dr. Pepper is what I've got in the thing there. And fortunately it's in a cup that has a partial lid. So it didn't spill as bad. It would have been all over had I had a regular cup. Okay, that is done. So, camera. Hey, Steve. Hey, Bob. Okay, I think that'll be better. Now, because this was unplugged, I'm gonna have to switch over to this camera and activate or deactivate and reactivate it to basically kickstart it. But I'll do that right now. There we go. That should take care of it. Okay. Hey, Spectra. We are at 174 people and 58 likes. We are giving away, not a Leviathan, but this shirt is kind of cool. I'm not big into white shirts, but we're giving away Nitehawk Toolhead board. Same thing that's installed on here today, along with Polymaker Filament. So links are in the description. Let's see how high we can get that like number before the hour and 36 minutes until we give it away, give that stuff away. So, let's see, back here. So those wires, is that good? So this is the focus on this camera is kind of garbo. And is it actually, what in the world is it doing? Is that not? Oh, it's not. It wasn't tight on the rotation. I've got the wire going all over the place. That was a holo that fell over. Spilling coffee on the printer makes it go faster. Imagine when you spill espresso on it. So this is that slot cover and the B wires, which are right there. And that's just going to kind of loop up and just kind of hang out right there. But this is designed with a notch in the back so that, and I've not actually tried this, but we should be able to. Oh, and I need to change where this is. So I need to change the, oh, maybe I don't. Maybe I did cut that short enough. Yes, I did. So this is going to go in here. Yeah, I'll need to change that. I need to cut that. I need to cut this slot cover a little shorter. So I'm actually going to use this to kind of mark where it is right now. Just score it. We'll pop that out and change. How much do I have to cut off? Wow, I don't even see where I scored it. Oh, maybe I don't. What did I score? I didn't put any pressure on it, so I don't cut anything. Well, that's weird. I'm gonna try this again then. They are not printed. These are I don't know if they're extruded or injection molded. A whole lot more difficult doing this the second time. Okay, let's try this again. Oh yeah, that went in there just fine. I didn't have to do anything. Let's see, now the wires come out here and they can loop back into the cable sleeve. The black cloth. I found that you don't have slot covers. Aquarium air pump tubing from the pet store works really nice. Nice. The nice thing about this, I mean, you could probably split that and it might work well, but the nice thing about this is you can use it exactly like I am, where it is, I guess I could try that, where it's holding wires in. Hey, Red Sky. So are you, Tuxedo, if you're talking about the slot covers, that's OpenBuilds, and I will continue to take the opportunity to mention I do have an affiliate with them now. But, and then these are always fun getting, so this uses the same little printed with a heat set piece behind that the cable chains did. I think I need to just, there we go. That guy in there. Rod's birthday. Happy birthday yesterday. We need everybody to say happy birthday. Oh, and then I want to kind of squeeze this together so it minimizes that gap in the printed part. So there, that's on. There's nothing else to do with that. Might as well put this back on since I'm done getting in there. So that's gonna. You don't have that in your description yet? What? I don't have it in the description? Hold on, I gotta fix that. Let me see why. What is going on? I don't. What in the world? Okay, I'll fix it real quick. Hey, PF Dennis, thanks for the gifts and memberships. I can fix this. Only take a moment. It's got to be in this one. Yep. Yep, I haven't put those in here. And save. If you refresh, it'll be there now. Hey, Maker Viking, welcome. Okay, where'd I... Every tube of Pringles comes with a free small parts tray. This is true. That's a good call. Hey, Zach. Happy Friday. What? Yeah, no, my bad. I put it in the Milo stuff because that's the first build series that I set it up for. I just apparently forgot to put it in here. How's the shed? It's there, and I bought all the main wiring stuff, like the sub panel and the wire that goes from my main to it. So, progress. Okay, so that's going on here now that I've been back from being distracted. I am hoping, or I'm expecting, Saturday to be another day with the 3D Sets 240 build for the Charlie's Angels stream. So any new members, Saturdays are when I do, usually one Saturday a month, I do a members only stream. And the current build is the 3D printed 240SX from 3D Sets. They call it the Sakura 240. Okay. And then this is labeled as our A drive. Plug it in here. And then this is going to, it's a little bit tighter, but both of these now, the one is just going to flip back on itself and then go through here. So, anything besides the slot covers should we be looking for at OpenBuilds? Really, the slot covers are the big one. Their extrusions, if you're looking for V-slot, aren't bad. Price-wise. So, the primary thing that I buy there are the slot covers. Now, I had purchased, for the Milo build, I had purchased these special, because this is the only place I could find them. These special, these are GT2-3M, which is a 3mm pitch, 20-tooth pulley. This is not typical what we use, but if you notice, it has a special machined hub here that's a clamp that doesn't drive a grub screw into the lead screw. So I was using these for the pulley, for the hand wheels on the Milo, but then I realized I could make a printed hub that works pretty well. So these are $10 each. This is nearly free. So the slot covers work on, yeah, so those slot covers are meant for V-slot, but I'm using them, if you notice, I'm using them all over the place. They're all here, they're here, and here. I put them every top-facing open slot I can get to, just it makes it easier to clean the printer. So, and the LDO extrusions follow basically the Masumi profile, so they work in the Masumi ones too. And I have a Masumi frame down there that has these in them. So you can print those slot covers. You can. I guarantee that they will not last as long or be as easy to deal with as these. 3D printing would be fine. If you wanted to 3D print them, go for it. These I just cut to length and snap them in, and they never break. They never break as I'm putting them in. That's, yeah. I'm gonna try this. This looks a little inappropriate, but it is a tool that I printed. I got this off of, I think it was Thingiverse. It prints in two pieces and then it snaps together. It's really kind of violent when it snaps together. And there are other types of this kind of thing, but the idea here, and I haven't actually used this, but the idea here is your split loom comes along here and goes around, and this one's almost too big for this, but it goes around here, and then your wires can go in as you're pulling it through like this. So we will basically just do this. So this has a slot in the side. So if I just do, oh, I don't know how long I'm gonna need. Let's figure out how long I'm gonna need so I can just cut this to length. So I am going to need to move this all the way up. So I'm gonna do this slowly because everything is hooked up. Hey, Teza. Red Sky, thanks for the gifted memberships. Okay, this is probably higher than the printer is ever going to go. Something like that. Where's the Taco Tuesday hat? It is Tuesday. Maybe during giveaway. If Garrett shows up, if Mr. Hot Sauce himself shows up, I might put it on during the giveaway. Since it is Taco Tuesday. And he's been wanting me to wear the hat for a few streams now. Hey, Christopher. So now this would go here, and then it doesn't need a lot. It's never gonna exist at this height. The printer's, if that goes there, and this comes up to here, then I can just kind of tuck that in until it's about where I think it's gonna need to be. I think that'll probably be fine. That might even, and I can tuck it underneath. If I have too much, I can tuck it under the deck too. So I think I'm going to cut this probably about there. I mean, it's not like, there's not a whole lot left after that, but I have more of this. So I think that will be fine. I screwed up, do it again. And this does have a nylon inside of it, so I am going to try to seal any strays. Hey Keith, welcome. We are getting close to being back on the Rook. That may be in 2 weeks, possibly. I just ordered some Sparta ASA. Anyone have experience with it? Did I do a good thing? Sparta ASA is good stuff. The ABS, I think, was the one that people had sticks almost too well to PEI. But ASA I've had good luck with. No issues with Sparta ASA. Okay, so let's see how this works. I think this is about the right, perfect number of wires here. And then I think because I'm not quite of the right size here, I may have to kind of just be careful and slow on this. Oh, this could turn around, and that locks the wires so it doesn't fall out. But I think just making sure that I'm careful, this is way nicer. It's really nice. Probably someone already asked that, but this Voron is odd size, right? It's got a Prusa bed sheet. So this is a normal, this is a spec 250 build. And yeah, that was pretty ridiculously nice. That was way easier. Where'd you get that Leviathan t-shirt? Jason sent it to me. Jason sent it. Did I miss anything up here? I want to make sure. Nice. Okay, Red Sky gave the gifted memberships. Thanks again. Over 50 spools of Sparta ASA on hand. I love it. Yeah. Trouble with Sparta ASA, you need a nice clean plate and print first layer slow. Really? I've not had that problem. But I mean, so many different builds out there. I can't say that because I didn't have a problem with something sticking that you won't. Now, if we were both using the same series Prusa sheet, given the same treatment, then we might be able to compare, but we don't have enough information to compare. So noticing I use the Prusa sheet on here. It is a 250 build. The bed is actually a full 250. I didn't even put the magnet on the back here because this is pretty much only getting a Prusa sheet on it. I did drill extra holes in the plate here and put screws in there to act as locating pegs for the sheet. The heater under there is a different size heater, and it is biased towards the front for the sheet. I'd take it off and show you closer, but it's not worth it. Hey, Agent Monroe. How long have you been working on a full Santa Claus? This is about, so November of 22 is when I probably started this. November of 22 would have been. So a little over a year and 4 months. I really like the Prusa sheets better than the others. Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan. I mean, I did this to 2 of my printers. 2 of my 250 printers have this same peg setup. What was the other one? Did it on, oh, it was my Tridex. Tridex does the same thing. Okay, so that was super easy. So I think we're gonna zip tie it at the top first, and then we will put a little twist in this cabling, depending on how it goes. Prusa satin sheets are great. Now, I have a very first batch Prusa satin sheet, Keith. So I have heard from a couple of people that have had bad luck with those. It's unclear if they've had better luck with newer ones. I could not get much to stick to that first batch, like day 1 order of the satin sheets. I got one and I've never had luck with it. However, this Mark III that they sent me for the 3.5 upgrade stuff, they also sent a satin sheet, which I imagine has to be not first batch. So I'm looking forward to trying it. You're supposed to grow the beard while you wait for the self-source parts to arrive. So two zip ties there. Is iffy. The XL satin is wonderful. Okay. I got 2 of those semi-satin sheets from Fabrico. I have not actually printed on them yet, but they look like they will work really well. We'll see. I expect them to. I got one for the Mercury 1 and one for a V0. Whatever came of the OSEC. OSEC is advertising. They've kind of burned a few bridges with community members, though, by not delivering early on. So I've seen them advertise. I liked their sheets that I got from them, but I can't recommend them. I don't know. I haven't talked to them. I mean, I'm not recommending them. I'm not saying don't buy it, but I can't say go out and buy it either. Is it me or the Chaotic Lab Tap V1 has precision and repeatability issues? There's a lot of variance to the point it fails QGL. Is it a V1 with the updated rail, or does it still have an original early rail? Okay, I'm gonna do like what we do on the Mark III, and I'm gonna put a twist in that. It looks pretty darn good. Freezer was fixed last Wednesday. I had an OSEC order in for a year and it never came. Exactly. That's not a good thing. And folks that I trust, like Poity here, telling me about their experiences mean that I'm not interested in promoting it. And as it is, we're talking about it more than I would normally. I think it's the updated rail. Okay. Okay, so this has a zip tie slot in the top. So I'm gonna slide this in here and secure the bottom edge of this. And I'll be able to, I'm not gonna tighten it completely. Actually, I wanna hide this, so I want to go, I think I'll go around here. I want only the, not as much of the zip tie to show. I never said, but I did eventually get my OSEC sheet. It did take a year and I had to hound them. Yeah. It's far too common. I don't know if they've changed ownership, changed management. I don't know if it's any better now. Tuck these down here, and they are labeled, so I don't really have to worry too much about whether I'm going to be able to tell what they are down there. That goes in a little bit back here. I think that'll be good. I'm gonna tighten this. We can always redo it later if I feel like I've got this too tight. Okay, it's definitely plausible. I've had some lives even last year, and change and printers have taken a bit of a backseat for a while. It happens. Okay, fastener for, here we go. So this is just a M5x10. That goes in there. And this goes in here. Hey, zombie. And then center this between the rails there. With my little bird of prey cover on the bottom. Okay, let's move this around. You're done? You're done with what? Bird of prey should be green, yes. It should, but I mean, it's got that look. Let's see if I can get in. That'll work. So then this, as long as it doesn't sit there hunting focus, goes right here. Hey, Pedro, are you out? Oh yeah, in the UK. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. I had messaged Pedro the other day because I got my other, oh yeah. Let's try that. There we are. Because I got my other fluid machine up to date. It was a whole lot easier to update than this one. Just ordered a bunch of slot covers to your link. Awesome. So that the last stream we were on here, we spent a lot of time troubleshooting, updating a very old instance of fluid, and we were successful in the end. So I have no regrets doing that. Okay, where did those go? Looking for my, there they are. How you been doing? We haven't seen a banana. Oh, we got a cheeseburger instead. That sounds far too tasty right now. Any horizontal piece for the cable coming out the extrusion towards you? Well, no. If I understand right, no. So this guy is gonna go on here. Has anyone here tested Flex Tap? I have not. I've seen it, but I haven't tested it. Is your Nitehawk USB cable secured to the extrusion? Not yet, but it will be. I think by next stream, I'll have come up with some thing that I will secure it up here. I expect to. I just didn't didn't get to that. We got cheeseburgers. I'm gonna assume that's a cheeseburger because cheeseburgers are better. And hot dogs. Thanks, zombie. The tap with a flex gear instead of a linear rail. Yeah. Pick one. I wonder how close I got that. Is that centered? It's a little bit to the left. So this is not my idea. This is inspired by the setup on Phoenix, and I am concerned that these might be just too long. I'm going to see if the shorter screws will fit. I think they will. Yeah, that'll be fine. Can you use the idler's belts to see the tension? I'm building a 252. Idler's belts to see the tension. I'm not quite sure I understand. I think I'm the only one on YouTube who can send stickers. A little bit too far the other way. What's the hex panel you're installing for? This is just as kind of it's cosmetic a little bit, but it also should hopefully keep this umbilical from kind of pushing over into the build area. That looks pretty good. So that is just so this umbilical here can't fall into the build area as easily. We'll see. It's kind of a, not sure. Cable management for 3-4 tools on Micron. It's a fence, exactly. It's a hexagons as bestagons fence. Up below. Now we're having breakfast. Yeah, so now you can see that. Slowly move this down. Can you stand it not being centered? It is centered. It may not look centered because this piece here. I was centering it across these. We'll get my ruler out and we'll see how it is. Yeah, but see how the umbilical gets pushed against the extrusion here. Not going to get the right focus, but it gets pushed up against the extrusion, then it can't go forward because of the fence. That will work well. So it slides while moving, but doesn't go where you don't want it to. That piece makes it look offset. Yeah, I get that. I don't want to move it though, because then it'll definitely be offset. Let's see how close I am. Zombie hedgehog. So that's 25 millimeters there, and I bet you it's the same here. I am off by about 1 millimeter. I'll fix that later. J.A., thanks for the gifted memberships. It's off by about 1 millimeter right now. I'm not gonna fix it. I'm not gonna chase 1 millimeter when we're trying to get this thing moving. Okay. So I'm really happy with that though. That is pretty much exactly what I was hoping for. I'm going to flip this around and we are going to connect those under the deck. Then at some point very soon we can turn it on. So. Okay. I want this to go there. Actually, I'm just going to plug this into the board so it doesn't go flying, flopping around and get caught on something. Where are you? There we are. Okay. It just looks offset because of the umbilical holder. Yep. I am really happy with that though. I like it. This has all been, oh, I never turned on my overhead light. No wonder. Okay, let me turn on my overhead light. That's why it's so dark. There we go. Should come on in a moment. Sure can't flip my 300 Trident around like that. Yeah. Didn't that was so much better, isn't it? So this is wiring that I had done a couple of streams ago. I showed this state of it off last time. So we need to run our A and B steppers over to the 5160 drivers. So to do that, it is going to be easiest to remove my power supply, and then we will run those across here. There's a couple of cable ties that I had set up for that. So small difference, not that much. Big difference for me. This is a little shield. This is a Meanwhile branded shield. It's just snaps on there. How are we doing? We are at 100 likes, 228 people here. We can get to 200 for sure. And I'm gonna just go ahead and pull the supply all together so I'm not fighting with trying to just flip it over onto the side. It works. I'm distracted. Hey, Sean. Get under here. Now, one thing I had done when I rearranged this is I shifted all of the DIN rails around for better alignment of and fitment of the power supply, mostly because I couldn't easily put it on this way. It was too close to the stepper. So, and I wanted to be able to, because I can get to the tab from the front here, I had to go way under here to get to at the rear. So that is going to come off there. So this, you can kind of see my umbilical, the Nitehawk cable comes around the side. It does go. I had talked about before not wanting to go through the Z drive, but it worked out really well, so I did it. What 48 volt AB motors are you running? About the same 48 volt meanwhile you're going to run, and I would like to run the 48 volt AB steppers. So I think you had asked me, did you leave the comment about what I recommend? The problem is I can't really recommend anything on 48 volts on this yet because I haven't run it. What I can tell you is what I have, and those are the LDO Speedy Power steppers. The 2.5 amp ones. Not the 2.8 amp ones. So, I recently had to rebuild my V2 because the wiring loom from LDO failed catastrophically, went with CAN bus and tap. Yeah. Okay, so now this is going to come across here, and we will bring it into this stuff here. But what I am going to do is grab these and make sure they are separate here. And I am going to put a little bit of a twist in these. We're going to pull all these away and put this here. Well, that's kind of dumb that that one is so much shorter than the others. So there will be updates to Galileo too. Yes, There will be updates. It's printed parts updates. It's not significant updates. People have been telling me 2.8 should stay on 24 volts and 48 volts for 2.5. I saw the same suggestion, Dead Aim, and that's why I went ahead and went straight to 48 volts on this one. I don't know. If you're using plastic AB motor mounts, you are limited to about 2 amps on the motors because of heat. Yeah, I was expecting to monitor temperatures. I'm twisting this by hand. I just don't want a bunch of the wires. So I should wait before installing the Galileo 2 on my Trident. It is printed parts stuff. If you don't mind reprinting, it's up to you. It should be very soon that they release, like very soon. And that's not going to keep much of a twist, but these are a lot closer, so I can just do the end. Leviathan has the steppers built into the board. Yep. These are 5160. They do specifically support 48 volts. My 2.4 has no 24 volts on the toolhead. I still need to troubleshoot that. Oops. What about armchair engineering? And oh, it recommends that. I haven't tested it myself. I think that's where I saw the recommendation from as well. Okay, so a little bit of a twist in those. I'm going to make sure that it will make it more difficult to move these heat shrink pieces back, but wristwatch G2 seems like a good option using the G2E parts. We're putting wristwatch BMG on the Rook. So I have this is a JST tool, but it seems to work really well for pulling these. Yeah. Hey, James. Okay, so these, I want a little bit of extra here. I might even let these loop around because there's nothing back here that's gonna matter. And they go across here. I could just do that. So let's get that going. I have an idea for my little zip tie anchors here that I want to play with at some point. A little revision to them, or a different style. Been running wristwatch G2 for about a month now on my Micron. Absolutely love it. Nice. Okay, so I want extras, so I'm gonna let that kind of hang back there, and I'll probably put an extra one of those anchors back there. So I'll put another. Here, I got one right here. I will go ahead and put it on right now. That little JST remover is from the same company that does the magical microfit one. J-Ready, is that right? Yeah. JR Ready. JR Ready. Same company that does the, and it's a P-moval tool. It's a P-moval tool. Awesome. We got another thing to add to our dictionary. A P-moval tool. Is that actually a thing? It's a Nero SBL kit, so I guess. Awesome. Ready build, I used your anchors instead of raceways. Cool. JR ready. For those zip tie connectors, dual or quad would be nice. I have ideas. Have ideas. Now, if I could use an idea to figure out where my tweezers are. Pin removal. Where was I? What was I talking about? Oh, I wanted to get into a point. I actually had something I wanted to say. I'm gonna just put that right there. If you accidentally use the wrong end or the wrong tool of the magical microfit ones, if you use the wrong one of these, then you will have a nightmare of trying to use them and wonder where the magic went. The magic did not go away. You have to actually use the right one for the right end of the connector. Just a PSA there. I was wondering, what in the world? Why is this not working so well the other day? And realized that I was using the wrong one. 46 weeks on. Thank you, Apollo. Those are, I do appreciate it, and those are a ton of fun. I think it's kind of obvious that I have fun with those. So. Pin removal is pemoval. It is now. I think that tool is so awesome. I'm gonna let them make a new word just for that. Ooh, that's a journey from Singapore. Vice fares as they've been super easy. Okay, now before I anchor it here, I'm going to figure out where. So we have A and B. Now which one, if we go to the diagram, the SBL is a higher end blaster, machined Delrin plunger and sear, and machined aluminum ram base. What's the FPS capabilities on that? Is my garage door gonna have nightmares for the next how long did we say? For the next, I can't find it. For the next many weeks. Okay, we're gonna find out. I know someone, Aaron is talking about which one it is, but we're gonna go find the Leviathan documentation. And I think LDO Motion, this is some of the feedback I have for LDO, is they really got to get the documentation in somewhere consistent, because needing to figure out which site you go to, whether it be the LDO Motion site or the docs.ldomotors.com, at least a lot of it's there. It would be nice if it was in one spot. With the stock spring, it should be around 250. That's more than any of mine hit. The docs for the board is very minimal. I think there is a wiring diagram here. This is really what we care about. And I think one of the issues with this site is their bandwidth is a little limited where they're hosting it. I think it's all about, in all the issues I've seen, I've been told it's, okay, stepper X, stepper Y. So A, X, B, Y, I think is what it is. We can always flip them. But I'm gonna go A, X, B, Y, and we will do what we need to get it figured out. I printed mine in Polymaker Metallic PLA. Hint, hint. Okay, so A, X, B, Y, but I will probably make them the same length so I can just pop them into either one without it looking weird. This goes here, and then I'm going to zip tie them there, and they're going to go right into the thing. So let's say there, but let's move this stuff down. Serves a good metallic ABS. For Z modem. B is X, A is Y in their example config. Oh, really? I usually, am I wrong? Am I mixing that up? I think I usually go AXBY. Is this printer doesn't have a 24-volt supply? No, it doesn't. Not right now. It's here. It's down here on the floor. It goes right there. Oh well, it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna make these the same length so I can just reverse them if I need to. Shouldn't use PLA, the designer. If you shouldn't use PLA, the designer usually specifies. So I think right about there is where I'm gonna cut that. And take this one and move all this stuff back there. To cut them to the same length. Hey, Mathis. Time to replace the gentle pixies with some more angrier. Is that a word once? Angrier. Okay. Strippers and crimpers. So after stream on Sunday, I did get all of the firmware stuff and config files reverted, and I am holding off. I did not make the Milo move. It has not moved a bit, but I think it would if I hit the button. So okay, so that's those. And then I do have two fresh, larger, matching the rest of the wiring labels. So I'm going to put these on. We will be back on the Milo this weekend. Nero cut wood today. Nice. How loud was it? That's my primary fear with cutting anything right now is noise. I'm gonna put this on. That's B. So we'll put this on here, and I'll just cut that other one off. Nero was quite annoyed earlier. Uh-oh. The I imagine, I think I didn't see the stream, but the firmware, the config setup is pretty bare bones. That will get better. Quieter than the VZ-Bot. I might have a slightly more tolerance of the config because my primary experience was with a MP-CNC with Marlin as the firmware and like no touch probing. Try to get these off to the side. Hey, Jared. Said not as loud as his little CNC. Well, his little CNC doesn't have a proper spindle either, right? It has something much less refined. Putting the oldest to bed, then I'll be back saying hey. Awesome. Okay, what are the colors here? We are going blue, red, green, black. Blue, red, green, black. Pine. So I think I'm still going to stick to my pink foam idea. Building a 250 as well, and that setup with the split wire looming looks like something I'll copy. Might move the point where the loom connects to the bottom extrusion further to the right though. Yeah, I just kind of guessed. I was modeling that up and I completely took some kind of eyeballed stuff on the printer and said, this looks like it'll go right here, okay, and should get an email from customs with the print files in a week or so. Awesome. Thank you, Apollo. You are a, what do you call it? Enabler. You are an enabler, that's for sure. What is a good, like not a drug dealer, but what's the next? What's a good? A block of acrylic work well? I don't know what I'd rather clean up. Would I rather clean up that pink foam stuff or something else? Facilitator, yeah, that's a good one. It's a pusher. Pot. Touche. Touche. Yeah, I get the static part for sure. Okay, that one of them down. Plastic or foam will stick to everything. I may reconsider that. Now that I'm realizing the other times I've cut pink foam. We will see. We will see. Okay, blue. And that, yep, my label's on there. Blue and red. And glitter foam. I think everyone in this chat has at least 2 printers we're working on because of you. Green. Already kind of on black. We will see. It's really the reason I was thinking foam was for noise. If it still wasn't bad on Nero's, then it's not as big a concern. Okay. So that one, we got one more. Blame the trident on me. I'll take it. I'll take that blame. If it's the trident. Got a lot of deflection during machining. We are not going to be pushing any kind of speeds or anything on those first cuts anyway. I am going to be definitely, I'll be on my 3rd CNC router mill type device and not really yet proficient at it. Zombie, thanks for the banana. Massive plastic RC vehicles. That is something I am very happy to push on. Which reminds me, I need to get over to the hobby shop. I want to check a couple of things for the build this weekend. I still want to find some better shock eyelet ends, ball or rod ends than I'm using. I think they could be better. Printer number 22 is on my living room floor in the box. You are catching up. Guess what's on the way to me? I mean, there's a couple of people in here that know what's on the way here, but oh, the Max is immense, but the Rancher was huge. I have those files. I'm a little afraid now. Where are your files on your Discord? On Discord, there is a whole channel called Files and Stuff. Is it a K3? No. Much more excited about this. A Giga. That is not even anywhere on my radar. Hey, Mamu. Did you find those files? And it just scrolled off. I didn't catch the name. Man, crimping is a nightmare for me. Is there a good crimper on Amazon? I really like these iCrimp 2820M. It is a black box. Black box is, will be here Friday, I think. Oh, Poity, did you see earlier I showed the test print? Did you see the test print? It turned out really good. This is, what I forgot to mention, this is Soraya filament. They do resin, right? Well, they do filament too. Soraya. So they sent me 2 rolls. This is ABS glass fiber. It is in black, and I also have a gray. But Soraya ABS glass fiber, and it turned out really good. What is a black box? Yeah, go to kb-3d.com and you'll find all about black box. Won't be around for Saturday's stream. Well, that's a bummer. Well, I hope you're having fun. Phoenix size Cocoa Press. Isn't Soraya also known as PO Poly? Yes. I've been watching Black Box since before I built my Trident. Yeah, it's been on my radar ever since pretty much Poity here pointed me to it ages ago. And just biding my time, waiting. Blue. And the opportunity has come up. The CE, Black Box CE is released. And files are all out there. Green. Blue, red, green, black. That's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Blue, red, green, black. Oh, we're 148 likes. Okay. This can go here. Cut this one off, and we're almost past this wiring stuff. I'll be really careful not to cut the wire here. 3DO Rat Rig Green fluoresces amazing. Nice. Did I miss anything up here? The flux a lot back then, so I was holding off. Ad for Loctite brand 3D printer resin. Wow. Okay, so what did we say? We were going XB, what did I say? BXAY, AXBY? Which one is it? Which am I gonna have the most likely level of success? 3D OSA carbon fiber is really nice. It is. I used that in on the Rook, and I will be using the blue on the solid fork. Time for some giveaway links. Got to win me some prizes. You got 35 minutes. 35 minutes till giveaway and 41 likes. Okay. AXBY. BXAY. I think Aaron said BXAY. We'll blame Aaron. We'll blame Aaron if it doesn't work. Black box is pricey, yes, but it is extra. Okay, I am going to snip that one and that one. Almost out. It's actively printing right now. It works fine. Okay. Let's see who can empty the coffers faster. Okay, and one more. Go right to there. I do have these quite twisted right now, and they're not super happy about it. But they will be nicely labeled and somewhat even. There we go. What is the gray box on the right-hand side of the main board? This box is the breakout board for the toolhead. So this is not a CAN toolhead board, it's USB. And what that box does is there's a USB port here that goes over to the Pi, and that's for data. Your data line's in USB, and it drops off the 5 volts and grabs 24 volts from here and sends it along the umbilical to the toolhead. That watch is almost as big as the printer. Okay, that is all in. These got to be out of the way. And those are out of the way, and we can put this all back. Power supply. Go. Wonder what happens. Separa is connected with flat cable, no twist. Nothing. It's just the only reason I put a twist in that wire. It's not for anything other than so I'm not dealing with a bunch of stray wires when I don't have any jacketing on it, or sheathing or anything like that. I am going to double check to make sure I got these right. So live, neutral, ground. Yep. Sent you a message on Discord with a link to be sure I found the right AB motors. Okay, I will check that out. Can't say the digits are too small, can ya? Keep up the good work. Thanks, David. Okay, and then these go across here. And where did I have this? Probably right like this. Ground over here. Looks like mine. I thought this electronics bay too roomy. Yes. There is, I mean, imagine, I don't know if we got a good view of it. I think we did with the duet setup in here. Is that black PSU? It's 48 volt. Yeah, that's 48 volts. It is an HDR 100-48. I have been having right here at the base of my neck. I'm spending too much time in a bad position working on something. And occasionally it flares up, and it's flaring up now. But at least we're about done with this. What motors are in this for B&A? These are the 2.5 amp speedy powers. Okay, I think that is done underneath here. Oh, I did hook up the heat bed in between streams. So signal from the heat bed is in. And I just used I used the power cable that came with the Nitehawk, because I used my own cord because it only goes right here. But I used the power cable that came with the Nitehawk because, I mean, it doesn't need to be this heavy gauge, but it was a lot easier to crimp the connectors on for it. So about 2 amp PSU, is that enough for the steppers? It has been. We will find out if it's a problem or not. The calculations for steppers is not necessarily intuitive. Yeah. Finishing off the purchases to build my printer. Any random stuff you can think of that I should get? I don't know what you have. Random stuff, I don't know. It's probably tools. Okay, let's turn this around. An update on the red hunt. The Ambrosia ASA is now the best red and I found a spool of E-Sun fire truck red ABS. Nice. Is that Ambrosia? Is that the Voron red ABS? I just got a roll. I haven't actually printed with it yet. Coffee snob put his French press away after tasting mine. Okay. I don't understand it, Nuno. I don't understand it enough to explain it. Okay, yeah, Voron red. Awesome. I'm looking forward to printing that. We have to finish up the tool head. Now, I'm not going to be able to actually, because I might want to change the where this goes. I might have too much wire up here. Now I'm in a rabbit hole in the black box. No, I honestly don't know. It might, but I don't want to steer folks in the wrong direction on that. What is that gray hex piece on the gantry facing the back of the X rail? Oh, you're talking about this? This is a shield. You see my umbilical Z? No chain here. This is to keep it from pushing forward. Just got a new unopened roll of Ambrosia Super Red. Nice. Okay, so this is going here, but we're going to take it off for a moment. And this is something folks have seen. This is just a super simple umbilical zip tie mount. Now, the one I showed last time was wrong. I needed to clearance the spot here because when you push the Galileo 2 stepper over, it was rubbing. So now it shouldn't. Now I have to find the right screws around here. Those go. Need a 50 millimeter and a 30 millimeter. That, I think I'm gonna have to use a black. I don't have, I can't find a stainless 50 millimeter. So this basically goes in here. So it attaches on the top. Motors draw more or less based on load, right, which makes it hard to know exactly how much at any given time. Higher voltage means less current. Is that a notch for a thermistor? It is. So this goes in here. So average V and average I are what count. And then on this side, one of the changes in the slightly updated Galileo 2 is there's a heat set in this part, which wasn't there before. So I modeled this piece to utilize that. See if I can find info on it. You can also get the even Mahler that you have on the V0 with 48 volts and 100 watts. Yep, I have one. It's on a different printer. I bought both to see about them, and it's on a different printer. Okay, this can now, so this is all going to go this way. A little bit. This is going to go here, and then this is going to just do a real quick little bend down, and then zip tie into there. I've got 4 of those little 48 volt PSUs. They're 90 watts. You're right. The IRM, it's the IRM series. So Jared, not Jared, I mixed up my my folks. Eddie the engineer has some great videos. If you search for Eddie the engineer, you'll find him. Has some great videos on steppers and other things. We had Eddie on because he is the creator of the Tridex and a member of the Voron design team. And we had him on as a guest when I finished that build. I have monthly deliveries of that coffee I sent. I'm down to the 1 cup left of the grounds. I only drink it on the weekends, so it's lasted a while. Eddie the mad scientist. There we go. I am pretty happy with that. Let's see if I've got clearance everywhere. Make sure I didn't go too low on that. Oh yeah, that clears. Yep, clears everywhere it needs to. What was that thing you put on for the wires coming off the back of the gantry? Alternative to cable chains? Yes. Yes, it's an alternative to cable chains that I've not used before. I have zero experience with it, but I think it'll work fine. Hart K has had good luck with stuff like this, and I was inspired by that and some designs that RCF has done. Okay, at this point, I want to cut those belts because I think we're fine to do that, and I want to get it to move. I have a link to Eddie's stepper discussion. I'll post it in stream chat. Cool. I'm disappointed too because I meant to find my little belt tension tool that I got from West 3D, and I don't know where it is. It's out here somewhere, but I don't know where. I looked for it the other day for a good 10 minutes and couldn't find it. How is this umbilical wired past to the top? Oh, so this goes up into the extrusion slot here and comes down here. Comes down inside. It's perfect size for being inside the extrusion. Comes all the way down and then sneaks into the deck through a hole in the Z plate here, Z cover. It's always right where you left it. Oh, I know. I just got to figure where that is. Yeah, let's do this. And then I still need to design something that's going to hold this in place up here. And one thing I did model, and I did this last night actually, is I'm working on a rear PTFE entry that comes in at an angle. Now there are others that come in at angles, and they come in at more extreme angles. This is a 45 degree. I've got some potential mounting points here that aren't going to work for a plate, a piece that'll go on the back here that'll kind of hold the PTFE tubing in place. My money is on it's under the Phoenix. For the gifted membership. Welcome, Mr. Old Man. Just takes you too long to remember where the hell you put it. I know. So this will go on here, and I think it'll look pretty good there. That basically should bring it coming out right next to this. So they'll basically follow the same path over to the Toolhead. So many different mods and ways to do things, it gets confusing. Yes. Yes. You notice I don't go crazy with mods on the stream. This whole series is all about the mods, but in general, I don't go put a ton of them on the builds. Okay, get out of zip tie. Location for this umbilical on the back PTFE piece. Let's go there. The angled entry is similar to the micron. Zip tie location for this. Yeah, let's turn it on. So I know this works. After we flashed the firmwares and stuff and everything powered and everything last stream, I went in and changed all the settings in the config. So Clipper is happy. Fluid is happy. What's your most modded out machine? Right now. Okay. So let's go here. And I got a angry fan, it sounds like. These are all original fans. I'm gonna have to replace that. I'm gonna love some run current. I'm in late. Hey, Francois. Okay. So we have happy fluid. I bet you there's an update already though, huh? Let's see. I'm not gonna update, but I'm just curious if there is. Gonna check. While it's doing that, let's go over here. I like to follow the Clipper config checks. So we're gonna go to the documentation. I've never used fluid. We had a grand old time last stream updating this very, very old Fluid Pi instance. But the only thing you have to know about that is it was a challenge and we were successful. Okay, config checks. And I don't think I did I'm going to go straight down to stepper. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to check the, I'm going to do an end stop check on the tap. So let's go over here. Everything needs updates. Wow. Okay. Oh, that's right. Because, Pedro said that they released a fluid update right like an hour before I was updating my V0 that has fluid. How many engineers in chat does it take to change a light bulb in Linux? All of them, or at least 10. Where is it? Is it configuration? tune, here it is. So tune, we're gonna query our end stops. Everything's open, and then I'm gonna just lift up on the tool head and we get the Z probe triggered. So that's good. Any particular reason you prefer fluid versus mainsail? I didn't say I preferred fluid versus mainsail. I didn't say that either way. I've never given an opinion that I prefer one over the other as far as the interface. I prefer the install of mainsail. I don't like that it pretty much requires Kiao to install fluid, but there are pluses and minuses to both interfaces. And I do like to use different things. Okay, that was there. We are going to have to tune sensorless homing. I did not trim the belt yet, but that's okay. We're going to do some stepper buzzing. Verify and stepper buzz. Let's copy that and paste it into the console. And I think we can probably, there we go. Fluid is on all out of the box machines. Is it though? Let's send this. That's this one. Is that what it should be? That's BX. Used the mainsail. I've tried both and I stuck with mainsail. At one time fluid was missing something mainsail had. Not sure about now. And then I'm going to run Y. I'm going to move this forward now. So we're going to run it for Y. Yep. I do like a good challenge. You know what? I would not have tried going through all that fluid stuff if I didn't think there were folks in chat that could give me suggestions I could act on and end up in successful. If I was doing that on my own, I would have still gone through and troubleshot it. I wouldn't have reloaded the printer. I would have done a ton of searching on forums and maybe a couple of questions asked in strategic locations. But I would have gone through the same thing. It probably would have taken me longer. But has anything changed that makes sensorless more viable for the 2.4 Trident? My opinion on sensorless on these printers has always been, if your homing sequence requires you to target a specific location in X and Y, that you should not go sensorless. So if you have the end stop pin in the back and you're required to target that for your Z offset, you should not use sensorless. If you have clicky, it requires you to hit a dock in a specific spot. It's iffy. If it will air out properly, if it doesn't actually grab that, then it's probably okay. But you will, if it triggers wrong, then you won't be able to grab your clicky. With tap, it doesn't matter where it tries to home, it's gonna trigger. If it tries to home anywhere on here, it's gonna trigger. So if it triggers early in any axis, tap isn't going to crash the gantry. Well, it's not gonna crash the gantry because you're using some sort of toolhead actuated Z probe. Thinking about it, we forgot to update the RPi firmware and maybe Linux distro update. I thought about that too, Sergey, later. I haven't done it yet. I had planned on doing that at some point, but I didn't want to break everything. When can I use sensorless Z probing? It's not quick enough. It's not accurate enough for Z probing. So you've had good luck with version 2 of Chaotic Labs Tap. Yeah, I've had good luck with version 1 with a higher preload rail. Now, My definition of good luck is I wasn't trying to print super fast on those machines either. Is that a different Toolhead board cover? No, it might be tweaked because this is, I don't know what, if Jared would be able to confirm if he's still around, whether that got tweaked for the latest revision on Galileo, but okay, we got to get back. I need to probe Z, and I need to make sure all the Z, or buzz Z. So we want the first move in here. The first move on any of your Z steppers should be in the positive direction. So on a V2, the gantry should go up because that's positive Z. On a Trident, you should see the bed go down on the first move. Thanks, Jay. So I should feel this go up on the first buzz move. And it did. So. Did you shorten the extruder motor wires? I did. I did that off camera. And then we're going to do Z1. So we're going to watch for the same thing back here. And it did. First move was up. So I went to the beacon probe. I don't think I could go back to a probe that has to go up and down touching the bed. So I have not yet tried a that style of probe. My first experience with that is going to be the Duet one. Okay, so here's Z2. And it's doing the same thing. So I don't know. I don't necessarily think that style of probe is perfect for me, but I haven't actually used one. Just hatched out of my mind. Selected for homing, an optical sensor and marked belts for A and B. Those marks stay in place. Does beacon have a non-USB option? Oh, that's the thing that I really didn't like about those. It has nothing to do with the design or the sensor. One of the things I really didn't like is how you have to wire it. And I don't like those that require a non-standard clipper. We have all of that good. What time is it? Oh, we have 7 minutes until giveaway. We're 17 away from 200 likes. We have 283 people here. So in 7 minutes, can we get 67 likes? Beacon is tested at much higher chamber temps though than clones. I'm not interested in using the clones at all. And when we wanted to find clones there, right? So I would be interested in using different designs, inspired designs, but direct clones, I don't want to go there. Okay, stepper buzzing just worked. Hey, Troy. We did hit 200 likes, so thank you. What did I want to do before I actually... Oh, we need to go to the documentation and make sure that I have... 69 likes in the next 7 minutes. If we go to the TMC drivers portion of the Clipper documentation, you'll see some information on sensorless homing. And now I'm pretty sure I already grabbed these things, but this is a change in this printer, something I had to change in the config because it wasn't running sensorless homing before. These are 5160s, so it is different. The command you tune for 5160s versus 2209s or that. So if we go down here, there is a little section here that says, where is that? So 2209s uses this SGTHRS value where it is ranged from 0 to 255, with 255 being the most sensitive. So you're thinking the ink or dye might fade or come off? I don't know, Andrew. definitely optical encoder, basically. I know, Aaron, I'm going there. I'm going exactly there because I have experience with this on my Trident. What's your take on TMC Auto Tune? I haven't tried it. I need to. For the 5160s that we're running here, we are going to use the SGT, and that has a range of 63 or minus 64 to 63, with minus 64 being the most sensitive. In this type of configuration, the most likely value we're going to be somewhere between -1 and 1. Our range of success is going to be super narrow. If you go into the config and printer config, I already set these up, but I am going to set them up extra sensitive to start. So more negative is more sensitive. So we're going to go to a negative value, and we're probably going to start about -10. If you are starting from scratch in a machine that's different from this, different configuration or whatever, you should take the typical sensorless homing tuning and start at the most sensitive and work your way up until it moves. We have 4 minutes. Offsetting the probe isn't on the point of the nozzle. What specifically are you working on? Right now we are going to, we are setting up some value for sensorless homing so that when we test homing direction, it has some chance of actually triggering the thing. So if I go down here to stepper and driver SGT, and I'm going to set this to -10 right now. And that was not on screen, so I'm going to set that to -10, and on Y I'm going to set it to -10. Okay. I'm going to try to sneak in another little tidbit before we give away a Nitehawk USB toolhead board and a spool of Polymaker filament. I'm going to go to the Voron docs because Klee has created some really good sensorless homing documentation here. And if we go to the community documentation, I think how-tos, and if we go down here and setting up and calibrating sensorless XY homing. Okay, so we are going to copy this and paste it into chat. And this is going to be needed because I'm going to explain some of the other parts of my setup. In here, if you go through here, and we're not going to go through it in detail, but further along, there are some example alternate homing configs. And this is going to reduce your homing current during the stepper current during homing moves, and then change it back. Now there is a current home. I don't remember what the command is. It's actually recommended not to use that in your stepper config. It's better to do this via macro. I don't remember the exact reason, but so there's a bunch here. We're probably going to refer back to this if we need to. So I'm going to leave the tab open. So with those set and 1 minute left till giveaway time, I am going to save and restart. And I think it's going to trigger immediately. At least it should. So we're going to do a real quick, right before we go into giveaway, I'm going to just do a real quick home X and see what happens. And I will probably get my finger down here next to the cancel. But is there any upcoming Trident revisions starting a build? I know most revisions have an upgrade path. Not imminent. Okay, so I'm just going to home X and see what happens. Okay, so it has it moved a second and then triggered. So, and it did move in the correct direction for homing X. So, see you, Nurglerot. Did you enter for the giveaway? Da Vinci, we did sepper buzzing, so we're good. Giveaway time. Giveaway time. Here we go. So we are going to give away a roll of Polymaker filament that we give away every stream. You were, Aaron. Thank you. Roll of Polymaker filament. I will be closing this when we haven't had a new entry in 3 seconds. It is a good time to get a burrito. Bill's going to be right back. He wants that prestigious Polar Ted Club roll. So we haven't had the links are in the description. I didn't say this a whole lot during stream. I didn't remind folks too many times, so we'll give a couple extra seconds, but links are in the description. You fill it out. Make sure you use your YouTube name. You have to be here to win. We do it at 7 o'clock my time, which is right now, whatever your time is, on Tuesdays. So we are closing it. We've had quite a few new entries since I've been talking about closing it in 3 seconds. So 3, 2, you don't like Revos. I love Revos. 1, half, quarter. It is. Oh, okay. We got a new one. I almost forgot. Nobody reminded me. Oh, you know what? Is Garrett not here? Never mind. Garrett's not here. I'll put the hat on if Garrett shows up, but no taco hat without a Garrett. I have anti-Polar Ted Club alarms set for Sundays and Tuesdays. We've had a couple more. So 3, 2, 1, and done. Link to sheets. Create. Revo sounds like burrito. I like burritos and Revos. Okay, Queasy Diver got in the first one. I may be teaching right now. And Honor Twig, 300th. We're all Garrett. You see, I didn't wear it last stream, so it's probably not here thinking that I wasn't going to anyway. Big money, no whammies. What is the numbers? I'm okay with not being creative. We're going 1 to 10. 1 to 10. We want to make this thing actually home. 1 to 10. Zero is not between 1 and 10. Let's go 8. I don't remember doing 8 in a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you want to home, it will be 0. Doom! Congratulations, Doom. Are you here? Let's start a timer. Doom. Are you here? This is a roll of Polymaker filament. Yep. Polymaker filament. Congrats. You must be here, though. There you are. Congrats. Let's see. So, the next one will be the LDO Toolhead board. The link is in the description. You have a little bit of time to get in. Let's see, we've got a couple of Dooms, but it's pretty obvious. We're good. Awesome. We got Doom Crew as well. Okay, close that. Delete these. LDO Nitehawk USB Toolhead board. Same board that we have on this printer right here. You have 3 seconds to enter. Congrats, Doom. I am a little behind on emails on the Polymaker filament. I apologize. I think I have 3 to send out, including tonight's. So I'll get those out. But Okay, 3, 2, 1, half. There's one. Giving the cat away. And I even know which printer will go on if I win it. We've had a couple since I was just commenting. So 3, 2. Nobody complained, Scott. I complained to myself because I need to get them out. We got a new one. So 3, another one. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's the timer from the last one. And 0, -1. What's our sensitivity value going to be? It's going to be 0 probably. Oh, okay. 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay. Someone got in there the very last second after right before I clicked the. Oh, someone else got in. That's weird. I ended at 312 and it just incremented to 313. Who was that? We'll find out. Liz, welcome. Are you going to win again today? Oh, you were almost first, Scott. You're second. Cheesy Potato got in there before you. Who got in that last one? Fuss and Lit. Fusion Lit. It's not fusion, right? Fuss and Lit. Got in that last entry. I'm late. You're getting groceries? Well, thanks for being here. We are going to go. You booked Rocky Mountain. Liz, what number range are we going to use? What number range? I want to hear from Liz. What number range? 17. Between 1 and 17. Between 1 and 17. I got a bunch of 13s. That's typical, but we'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. Who do we got? LDO Mark Bernard Schauber. Mark Bernard, are you here? Does that even fit in the, I guess it would fit in a YouTube name. Mark Bernard, are you here? You have 2 minutes to say something. LDO Nitehawk USB Stealth Burner Toolhead board. Congrats. Next time, Tezza. Mark Bernard. A minute and a half. Complete box set. There you are. Congratulations. You will get contacted by Jason. I pass off your email to Jason and he reaches out. Okay, it all checks. Good job. Yep. Nope, let's close this. Okay, let me unpin. All you people that enter really long numbers, YouTube makes me approve of the post or delete it. Oh, you're actually getting those approvals, Bill? You're getting post approvals? The Nitehawk is available to purchase. It might not be necessarily in stock. I mean, it's a new thing. People are excited to get it, so it might be hard to find. That's interesting, Bill, because I used to see those in chat. I haven't seen them in a while. So I'm almost sad to know that, because not seeing them, ignorance was bliss. Now I got to figure out why I'm not seeing them. Okay, deleting from the description. Yeah, but I usually see those too. Stuff coming back in after Chinese New Year. Yeah. Okay. Congratulations, Mark and Doom. Where are we at? This moved on X in the correct direction. So let's make sure it's moving in the correct direction on Y, and then see if it triggers early. So I'm gonna home Y. It moved. Why did it move forward real quick? Let me disable steppers. Motor's off. I'm gonna do Y again. Yeah, it moved forward. Why did it move forward? Let's look at our config. Why did it move forward first? So for the recommendation when you use sensorless homings, you don't do any retract after homing. Oh, it is moving in the wrong direction. It is moving in the wrong direction. So what that is, here, I'll show you what that is. So, oh, I shouldn't have homing retract direction. Homing retract distance should be 0. And what is this? Stepper Z. I need to go up. Sorry. Let me check X. Oh yeah, homing retract distance is 0. But X moved in both directions too. We may be completely wrong on our thing. So I take back my thanks, Aaron. I take it back. If we come down here to the homing macros, that's probe. And this is the activate G code that's part of tap to make sure that you're not probing over a certain temperature. It's set to 150 degrees. That's what this is. I tentatively, why no retract? I couldn't explain it. It was advised by Klee, and Klee's the sensorless master in my mind. He wrote the docs. He deserves it. That you don't run the retract. This macro, this homing macro, does it. It moves back 10, or it. Part of it is to retract 10 millimeters here. So that's what we saw, which means that our first move was in the wrong direction in both ways. So what does that mean? There are nice, I think the build might be. Senseless master. And where is it? Initial startup. So if you go to the Voron docs and go to the build and go to initial startup, you can go down here, I think. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. If we scroll down, this is stepper motor checks, and then there should be a homing check diagrams down here. And here they are, motor configuration guides. So most of these are very similar. We're going to go down to the V2 one. Okay. So what this is saying is that if you, on your homing move, the X moves to the left, or to the right instead of the left, and Y moves forward instead of back, it means that I have to reinstitute my thanks to Aaron because it's a config issue, not a connector order issue. So here, what this says is if you invert the direction flag on the two steppers, it'll go in the correct direction then. So you look for the scenario you're in and do what it says. So right down here, if you're in any of these, it means the steppers are swapped, and you swap the two connectors, you should be good. If you're up in here, you're going to change the inverted flag. And we'll do that right now. Go all the way up. So we want to invert both X and Y. So right here, this direction pin, if you put an exclamation point in before that, it inverts the signal. Didn't it move to back on Y? It performed the macro move. So that's why. I'll explain it a little, hopefully a little more clearly here in a second once I get flush the queue of things, of commands I'm doing. Let's invert both of those and save and restart. Oh, here it comes. So now we come back here. So what we saw, because we have the sensitivity turned up on the sensorless homing, what we actually saw is the tool head try to move this way, the wrong way, and then that macro, that homing macro I showed you where it moves 10 millimeters in the other direction, then it moved 10 millimeters there. That's why we saw a very precise move, not a trigger. We saw a trigger in this direction, and then it moved a exact 10 millimeters. Same thing with Y. It shifted forward, but sensorless triggered, and then it moved 10 millimeters in Y. So our sensitivity is too high. We can, here, if we watch this real closely, I'm gonna home an X. Now it should bump that way and then move this way. Yep. Now that's correct, because the first move was attempting to home, sensorless triggered, then the macro commands kicked in and moved it off by 10 millimeters. There is something about sensorless, and someone else could probably explain this better, but the reason it moves off of the end, off the trigger point by 10 millimeters is so it's not, if it's stopped at the trigger point, then it puts some tension or something on it. You get a more accurate home if you do that. Now I'm gonna home Y, and it should bump back, then move forward. And that's what it did. So now we are too sensitive. If we go to this clipper, and there might be in the docs here, let's see. There is something in here, sensorless homing on Y. Oops. Let's see if it's here. I know where to find it in the clipper docs, but let's see if the tuning is here. Finding the right stall guard threshold. Yeah, this document here. We'll use this. I know where to find it in the clipper docs too, but this works pretty well. Let's grab that and grab a paragraph link for you folks. So for TMC 2209, so let's scroll here. Start with set TMC field. So this command here, now we're not going to use it because it's not the right thing, but if we put that into the console, we can change this value and tune this without having to do a bunch of firmware restarts. For the 5160s, we're going to use this one right here, value there. Okay. So if I copy that and now go back into here, and we are going to be entering this. Now right now we have minus 10 in the values, so we're going to go more or less sensitive. So we're going to try minus 5 and send. And now that has set that threshold value. And if we go home X, we might see something. It might do the exact same thing, just meaning that we're still too sensitive. And we're still too sensitive. So yeah, it's going to be right around 0 or 1. You can play around with speeds and currents and stuff to try to get a little wider range. of sensitivity. My other Trident with a Leviathan and the superpowers, no, it doesn't have superpowers anymore. It has the 1.6 amp steppers, is 0 on both. So let's go back here, and I'm going to change this. I'm going to just change this to 0 because I don't think it's going to be too harsh of a home anyway. It is going to hit these belts. We're going to do it anyway. Do you have to set both since both steppers are involved, or does it know how to sort that out? It knows how to sort that out. Okay, so I'm setting this to 0 right now, just skipping some steps. And now I'm going to hit home. Yep, and that's still too sensitive. So we're going to go 1. Thought the essentially homing first move is always away from home position. No. See? And that was a good home. That was a really good home. But the difference, one increment, 0 didn't home, 1 did. Now you have to watch that. When you're doing sensorless homing, you have to watch that and see how it behaves in a warm chamber, because it will change. Just G, I bet it will be 1. Yep. So now we are going to set this for Y. And I'm going to start with -1. Those of us with experience with this is probably going to be somewhere in this range. So we're going to start with -1. I am going to manually move this over for this test. I don't have the belts tensioned either. What speed was it? I think I've got it set to 50 or 60, maybe 40. It's not fast. I could be wrong, but I think I remember changing it. Okay, we're going to do -1, and now we're going to home Y. And that's too sensitive. We'll check that homing speed here in a second. Let's go 0. So there are no, it's whole numbers only. It's 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. Oh, I'm out. A little bit of water there. Okay, we are going to do 0, so I'm homing Y now. Okay. And then let's go 1. So 0 triggered, and 1 could very well be the value. Let's go Y. There we are. That's not too harsh either. So let's take a little sidetrack here and see if I can find it. There was a very clever homing setup that I saw. Very clever. I don't know who this is. I'm hoping that I can I open this anywhere? How do I get this? Oh, is this gonna work? Okay, I'm gonna try this. Save. Let's open this. This work? Aha. Okay, this is working. I saw someone, HeartK linked this. I'm gonna show a link. I thought this was very, very clever. Where's the instruction? There we are. I'll switch over once I get back to the beginning. Someone sent this. This is an interesting homing setup. So check this out. I don't know who this is, but they're using tap by ramping up on the XY joint and then pushing a spring-loaded button, and they're using the tap optical sensor for all of their homing. I don't know. I'm trying to see. I don't see who this is. I would give credit if I could figure it out. But that is So clever. Isn't that cool? They got a little angled approach here, going to, you'll see it coming up here, going to the XY joint. And it looks like they loosened that screw there to get enough ramp angle. Looks like pinball bumpers. I was thinking you could probably make this be a little pivot point actuator and do it without having to lift the tool head for X and Y. Oh, it very well might wear it down, but this as a concept and someone thinking to do this, big kudos. The Y is activating. If you look here, you see that? That is a slide that pushes a flag to interrupt the optical, just like the tap does. Tap pushes a flag in the way of the optical sensor, and they're using that for Z and X, but for Y, they're pushing a second flag in to interrupt that same spot. I honestly, the X lift is super clever, but probably not the way I'd want to go. I'd want to do some other mechanism here to do that. But super clever. If anybody knows who that is, let them know I showed it off. Where are we at? We are at 1 for both of these. So let's go to the config. Oh yeah, a long-term solution is going to need to be more refined than that. But as a concept, it is so cool. Okay, right here. Oops. Let me make sure you can see that. 1. Seems like X stays triggered after homing it. No, it comes back off of that ramp. 1. Save and restart. Yeah, the rotary device, I think, is what the way I would go as well. I would set up some little, just a screw as a pivot point or something to push in to interrupt it for both X and Y. I think we're ready to home the whole thing. So let's do a first home on this. I want to do one more stream for this build, and the next stream is going to be entirely polishing up the couple of little things I yet have to do, and then running things like input shaper and doing a print. So we won't do much for building on the next stream, but next Tuesday we'll be on this again, and it'll be finishing it up. What homing speed? Thank you. I forgot to show that to someone. We are at 60 right now. 60. So doesn't tap block the sensor at rest? That is, I'd have to think about that. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I don't have that open anymore. Fine, let's look at that again. What is, oops. What is it doing? Let's check this again. Oh, it is. I was wrong. I apologize. It does keep it up there. So what they've inverted it is all. They've inverted it is what they've done. Now, how does that work? Maybe it's just change. Yeah. It does remain lifted by the screw. I was wrong there. I apologize. There might be something else going on there to... But it is clever, no matter what. That's clever. 60 is the homing speed. And we go back out here. We are going to do a full home. Full Roomba with the optical bumper sensor. Yeah, I was not seeing it correctly. Home. I'll move this up just a little bit because... Okay, we ready? Home all. Hold on. I want to check something. I want to see where this is going for the printer config. Where are we going? Down to our modified. So this is home X, home Y, homing override. Okay, here we are. This is what I was looking for. So the XYZ homing override is going to 125, 125. I think I have, what do I have my extents on this? I have Y length is, oh, 253 is wrong. I need to change that. It doesn't matter. It'll be fine. 125 is good. We'll leave it. Homing all time. Homing all. Home all. Ooh, that is noisy, resonating. I always trigger the first home all. I always trigger the tap by hand just to make sure. 100%. So now I'm going to home all again and let it go. Ooh, that Z resonating is terrible. We are going to do a QGL though, because I want to see what it does. Where's the QGL button? Where is the QGL button in Fluid? Am I missing it? I know there's macros down here, but isn't there a up in here in the... New update they need to CNC? Do you route the bed to CN heater wires? It's so clean. What's the best way you found to determine maximum travel? Well, it is in macros, but I was hoping... okay, that's fine. That's G32, right? Is that what the... Here, let's see. Do I have this set up in G32? Yeah, that's our quad gantry level. G32. See if during QGL the AB motor mounts or belt is rubbing on extrusion covers. It shouldn't be rubbing on any extrusion covers. Ooh. It's a label in one of the frame bars. Yeah, quad gantry level is there. Thank you. It's right there under tools. Do your stuff right there. Okay. So 90% of my recent fluid experience is on a V0. So I can be excused for not having looked for QGL. And belt tension isn't set. So I'm not going to worry about that. We're probably going to call it here after this is done. We will set belt tension. We will do some input shaper tuning. I will have the back panel on by next stream. I think it was out of whack. One of everybody's is running fluid, so I have to know how to drive it. Yeah. Am I correct in thinking that if you're using clicky with a Z end stop pin and never change nozzles or beds, that there's no need for automatic Z calibration? Yeah, I would go away from that. I mean, I would just use the clicky as probe in that scenario there, Brent. What size benefits more from a lightweight X being 250 or 350? The 250 probably, right? Because most of the weight savings is in the bar itself. Your XY joints weigh the same between both. Thoughts on the Z resonance? Mine is noisy as well. I'd be looking at speeds and just get out of that resonant range and making sure the currents are correct. Someone said check the currents, and I need to check them. This printer at one point had those 1 amp, those old 1 amp LDO steppers for Z, and there's always a possibility that I never changed the current from those. The Angosette, they do say that it's actually heavier, but I weighed my own parts and it was a significant weight savings. I don't know what they're referring to and what combination of parts they're referring to, but I weighed the stuff on here and there was a significant weight savings. Hey, Kevin, welcome. That puzzled us. I don't know. I haven't, I don't know why it says that it's a weight increase. There we go. Can you guys hear that? That is. Let's look at. It's heavier than the other beam in the repo, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, maybe. You heard. Can you show your Z umbilical moving over a full range of Z motion? Not today. I will, Leo, if you remind me, we can go through, because that is a good thing to check. But I don't want to move Z up in a fast enough speed and have that resonance for that long. So let me troubleshoot this resonant thing. It doesn't make sense to do that manually now that it's running. I wanted to check currents on various things. So I had gone through here and I think I set my, oops, I forgot. Fluid takes you back where you left off, which is kind of nice. I set these just 1.6 amps for right now on these AV steppers, just as a starting point. And then the Z steppers are 0.8. So these can probably change. I think they are, I'll remind you when I finish tuning Z. Perfect. Is that cable chain alternative thing publicly available? STL for it for the back of the gantry. No, this is the first time I installed it. Oh, there we are. That's a good view. Wow. Until the camera decides to not focus on it anymore. Right here, right here. Come on. See you, Joe. Anyway. We got what I wanted. We got what I wanted. A nice chill stream, making progress. We've homed on this. It's a functioning printer now. What did you say? I'll remind you when you finish tuning Z. Back to work on the arm for the first time in a month. See you, Jax. Jack. I combined your name. What do you recommend? Tap and CNC tap and why? Tap is going to be more flexible in revisions, more flexible on wanting to do any mods or whatever. A CNC tap is going to be stiffer. So depends on what your needs are. It's going to be more expensive. It's cheap to print. So Saturday. This guy gets more progress. See, we've got suspension. So more progress on this guy. I'm going to redo the springs in the back, but this is one that is fixed and it is moving in a good range of motion now. So won't be around on Saturday. I'm sad. We will be doing that. We will be making chips on the Milo on Sunday. And then next Tuesday, we'll be back here and finishing up the green V2. After that, we'll see. Bearded Bucket, thanks for gifting memberships. So I hope everybody has a good rest of your week. Good evening. Thank you for being here. This was good. We will finish this off next week. With that, take care, everyone. Please enjoy the build. Bye.